The following is a special sports presentation of the Cincinnati Bengals.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Bengals Weekly. I'm Dan Horde. He is Dave Lapham. This week, it's off to Baltimore as the Bengals take on the Baltimore Ravens. Lap, last week at Paul Brown Stadium, the Bengals were great offensively in the final 4 minutes and 8 seconds. Unfortunately, they need to be better in the first 56 if they're going to get their first win.
Got to play a complete game, Dan. You know, all three phases have to play complementary football. They play spurts of complementary football, but too often one phase deserts the other, you know, instead of complementing it. And red zone, I mean, the Bengals defense kept them in the red zone. Arizona only scored 1 touchdown and 6 red zone opportunities. It was a track meet between the 20s. They gave up tons of yards, but they, you know, battened down the hatches when it got in the red zone and kept them in the football game. And red zone continues to be an issue for the Bengals offense. They only score 1 touchdown and 3 opportunities, and, you know, drop pass, inaccurate throw. Those are 2 more touchdowns they could have in the red zone if they just executed. So they have to just stop self-destructing, you know, quit the penalties, quit the negative plays, whether it be a sack or a tackle for loss or whatever the case may be. You know, create some turnovers defensively, offensively, make sure you keep protecting the football. Very rare to have a game where there were no turnovers. Neither side turned the football over. So explosive plays decided this football game against Arizona.
Let's take a look at this week's clutch performance. It is brought to you by Bridgestone Tires, clutch performance in the world.
Dalton back to throw. The protection is good. Fires deep downfield. Ford is open. He catches it at the 10 and runs into the end zone for a Bengals touchdown.
Wow. Man, Tyler Boyd, Dan, middle of the football field. He made the play earlier in the drive, then he made that play. Outstanding throw.
Time for our weekly visit with Bengals head coach Zach Taylor. When you're looking for that first win, do you think guys feel like there's no margin for error?
I don't think that. We just got to do a great job of what we're being asked to do. We got to execute to the highest level, and our guys understand that. They know that we've let a couple get away from us that we shouldn't have. But this is the week we just got to put it all together and get a good divisional win.
How do you personally process a loss?
I need about 12 hours to myself. I'm not a fun person to be around that night. You can ask my wife. But the next morning, I wake up and I'm ready to roll. And again, this league, there's can't waste a day. So you got to have great energy when you come in the building and be ready to get ready for the Ravens.
You've said repeatedly, we have the right people in the building. Do you mean that in terms of effort and attitude or talent?
A little bit of everything, you know, and it's you want people that are all in it together and believe in what the process is and believe in what you're doing. And I've seen that every single day coming to work, from staff members, coaches, players. Everyone believes in what we're doing, and it's just a matter of getting it done.
You scored 23 points and scored on 5 possessions. Those are season highs for this year. Did you feel like you took a significant step forward offensively?
Well, there's a couple drives we wanted to have back. Again, it just goes down to the same thing that's kind of killed us all season is when we get down inside the 10, we got to make sure we're getting 7 instead of 3. And in a game like this, we've had 3 one-possession games, and we've left points on the field in all of them, and that's not something we can afford to do.
Let's turn to the Ravens. Number 1 in the NFL in rushing at 192 yards a game. How much of that is Lamar Jackson and the difficult challenges he presents?
Schematically, they really challenge you. He's an unbelievable athlete. You just go back to his college days. He's been making plays throughout his career, and they got some good weapons on offense. So certainly be a challenge. Our defense got to be really disciplined and focused and have a great understanding of the game plan and where they're supposed to be. But I know that they're excited for the challenge.
They're always good on defense. That's the case this year. But Andy Dalton has historically done well against Baltimore. Does his experience against them and what they try to do with exotic blitzes make a huge difference?
I think it helps. You know, he's seen this coordinator a couple times now, and he knows the personnel pretty well. They certainly draft a prototype. They got big guys inside, and the backers can run, and their safeties are really smart. So it'll be a good challenge for us, but it does help that Andy's played him a couple times.
Those big guys inside are listed at 345 and 336, and it's probably bigger than that. Yeah. How do you run against that front?
Well, you got to be smart with the schemes you're going to employ. And you're right, they look like they're more 390, 400, you know, if you're really being realistic with it. But they do a good job, and so we just got to find the best ways that we can move the ball.
Back to a Bengals question. Tyler Boyd, 10 catches last week for more than 100 yards. You were around some great wide receivers in Miami and with the Rams. What stands out to you about Tyler Boyd?
He's competitive. He can separate regardless of what the matchup is. And in critical moments, you can count on him. And that's been the case through 5 games so far. And it's as simple as when you throw him the ball, he catches it. And that's really what you want at the starting receiver.
Best of luck this week.
Thank you.
Bengals Weekly is brought to you in part by Fifth Third Bank, on the field, in the weight room, and in the community. Fifth Third Bank and the Bengals are driving to better. Learn more about the drive to better at Bengals.com/53. And by McDonald's, the greater Cincinnati area. McDonald's owner-operators are proud sponsors of the Cincinnati Bengals.
Welcome to my favorite part of the show. Get to telestrate a little bit with a Bengals head coach. What do you have for us, Zach?
The first one we have here is the first drive of the game. We moved the ball pretty well in the run game, so we detached 3 receivers. We're in a 1-by-3 formation with the tight end down here at the bottom. And we got 6 for 6 in the run game.
Yep.
They left a guy outside the box, and the linemen do a good job covering up the front line there. We get up to the second level here. You can see with Trey Hopkins getting up to 43 Reddick quickly. Joe does a nice job with his course, cutting it back. And the unblocked players are the ones that are going to have to make the tackle down the field. So it was a good start to that first drive there.
What's that safety thinking? Whew, runaway freight train coming at me
it's
right
tough.
here.
He's got a lot of mileage coming right at him.
No better feeling for an O-line than to come off the ball like that.
That's right. Then late in the game here, you can see it was the 2nd call. Our defense had just gotten us the ball back, so we were down 7, 2 minutes left. We were trying to get this ball snapped before the 2-minute warning so we could steal a play in case we needed it. And, we really called an 8-man protection here. The back's going to get out late, but we're trying to get full cell. We've got a receiver here trying to help on the edge here. We didn't want Chandler Jones and Terrell Suggs to get off in this game. It's supposed to marry with one of our nakeds where Andy usually rolls out. We usually get a low cross and a corner out here by Tyler Boyd, and so it's a compliment to that. Tyler does a nice job of leaning the safety.
He bit on that.
Safety bites on it. Andy does a great job getting the ball out, and the protection's really good. So you can kind of see here, you look at TB, the way he sells his route. On our nakeds, we always want to stem inside, like it's the run, push vertical, run a corner. So he leans on him, snaps out of it. Andy does a good job throwing him to the numbers, and it's a great job with the protection. So
I bet Suggs was thinking when Tate hit him, I bet said, they're hitting me with everybody. I mean, they're hitting me every way they can hit me. Look, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Tate does a good job being physical right there.
Yeah, they do. We're trying to get on Suggs and Chandler Jones, both those guys. And then you look at the play that got us to this situation defensively. We're down by a score, 3.5 minutes left. It was a big 3rd down play to get us the ball back, and defense does a nice job. You look at the back end, we're in man coverage back there. B.W. Webb on Larry Fitzgerald. B.W.'s got basically a broken arm at this point. Does a great job staying tight in coverage. Makes a play on the ball. He doesn't get there too soon. Do a good job. If you look at the pocket here, the pocket's starting to collapse on him, so he's got to get the ball out of his hand. They do a good job staying off of him. It's not get a penalty there at the very end, which sometimes they're going to call that stuff. So really good job on the front end, getting that pressure. You look at Gino right there, taking his man all the way into Kyler Murray. Kyler's got to get the ball out, and then BW does his job on the back end. So good job by those guys.
Nothing better when you rush and your coverage marry. Nothing better than that.
That's right.
Hey, Bengals fans, it's the McDonald's Pounder Play of the Game, brought to you by the Quarter Pounder and Double Quarter Pounder with cheese. So tackle your toughest appetite and pound one today.
Here's the 5th straight run for Mixon, and again he burst between the hash marks into the secondary. Safety Jalen Thompson brings him down at the 22-yard line.
Now, when you have the run established like this, play action pass is going to be a horse of a different color.
Coming up, we'll take you behind the scenes with Carlos Dunlap on what was not an ordinary day at the spa when Bengals Weekly continues.
Show your Bengals spirit by joining the Who Day Ladies, presented by Kleenex, Kotex, and Cottonelle. Members will receive exclusive club gear, access to special club events, and so much more. For more information and to sign up, visit Bengals.com/ladies.
This week's Drive to Better is presented by Fifth Third Bank, where it pays to Who Day.
Carlos Dunlap here with my foundation, the Carlos Dunlap Foundation, and this is my 6th annual spa night with breast cancer survivors and fighters. We all going to get together and have a spa night. A variety of people all over the city have nominated these individuals who are breast cancer survivors and fighters. Today, my goal and objective is to give them a peace of mind because, going through their treatments is not an easy task. Oh, this part's going to tickle. Yeah, you get fresh nails, facial, whatever, but a lot of them don't get to meet too many women that are going through what they're going through, and a lot of them don't get an opportunity to share their story as openly and hear about the different styles of treatment, hear about the different scenarios of how they were diagnosed.
The support is important from everybody. And I think it's kind of more important from the people that are on this journey with me. We get it.
Their stories are not easy, their stories are not over. They're still fighting today. Some of them are in remission. What'd you choose for your name tag? Oh, Cancer Ninja. See? That's another good one.
I think it's an awesome thing and how important that this is because this is worldwide.
One of the biggest things is just getting checks, no matter how young, male or female, we want to save them all. And this is one of the reasons why I love this event, bringing awareness to everyone to just get checks. That looks perfect. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Tackle breast cancer. That was like an orchestra. These ladies all shared all the different stories that spread across the whole playing field. And the crucial catch game that the NFL now does and that the Bengals support, inviting them down, giving them field passes, and allowing me to wear pink. Pink socks, pink cleats. This is what breast cancer awareness is about.
I want to thank him for what he's doing, for his support. I think it's beautiful.
Bring it home. Bring it home. Good job, bud.
It means a lot to me. You don't think about the players being involved like that, and that just made me love him more.
This season, every time the Bengals complete a drive of 53 or more yards, Fifth Third Bank will donate $530 to student loan relief. Enter for the chance to win at 53.com/Bengals. Now time for this week's X's and O's segment where we rely on Dave Lapham's football knowledge and artistic ability to learn more about this week's opponent, the 3-2 Baltimore Ravens.
I can't draw a stick figure. My dad was the artist, but my dad didn't know if a ball was stuffed at air in it. And we'll see here. Check out the center on this quarterback draw. Design quarterback draw. Lamar Jackson can beat you with his feet, and he can also beat you with the throwing arm. But watch this. They're going to double this poor down lineman. They're going to knock him to the turf. I mean, put some pancake syrup on that bad boy because you've been pancaked. Off to the races he goes. Now the center is coming down the foot. He's sizing up the safety. Lamar Jackson says, "Come on, man, you're too slow. I'm taking off. I'm off to the races." He gets hit, taken down about the 5-yard line, loses control, but he's down by contact. No fumble on that play. Then we're going to see him throw the football. Watch Brown. Brown's going to come off the line of scrimmage and run a route. And as he's down the football field, watch the defensive line. Because of his ability to run the football with those feet, they're going to mush rush. I mean, they're not going to get up the football field much more than this. And if he's throwing the football, that's a recipe for disaster, as we're going to see here. Brown comes off the field. Look at these guys. One's on the ground. I'll tell you what, Baltimore Ravens are knocking people on the ground when they block them. They're physical. Could have been called for an illegal contact right there. Runs right by him anyway. And Brown has said, okay, I got world-class speed. You don't. And I'm going to take it to the house. He dives. Doesn't quite
right
get
here,
there.
Lad. I want you to. Can I point something out?
Yes.
I want you to look at this person and his disgusted reaction with his hometown team.
A Dolphin fan that's no longer a fan, you're saying, Dan? Oh, he's blowing away the odor. You stink. That stinks. All right, let's take a look at Pierce and Williams in here, the interior defensive lineman. Nothing more disturbing to a running back is when your offensive line gets inverted and you have to make your first cut in your backfield. Knocks them both backwards. Tries to split them, not so much. Got the pins knocked out. You could have had a knee injury on that one. I mean, that could have been ugly.
So we've got a 355-pound guy and a 345-pound guy in the middle, something like that?
Yeah.
It's like 700 pounds of beef.
Or maybe closer to 400 each. Times 2, that's 8 big hundy right there. Got some massive humanity inside.
They are difficult to move. All right, time for this week's Bengals trivia question, and it has to do with Tyler Boyd. He had 10 catches for 123 yards last week. The third time in his NFL career he's had 10 or more catches, and that leads to this week's question.
What 3 tight ends in Bengals history have had 10 or more catches in a game?
We'll have the answer when Bengals Weekly returns.
It's now time to get to know your Bengals. Why do you love the game of football?
I love the game of football because it gave me an outlet. You know, it gave me another way of, staying out of trouble, doing the right thing. For me to be able to have this platform and work so hard to get to where I'm at, I definitely feel like it just gives me an outlook to go back home and give back.
I love it because it gives you so many opportunities to showcase your talents, to give back to the community that raised me, and form relationships with teammates, fans. It really is the best game.
It's a game that I grew up playing and admiring ever since I was 6 years old. So even until this day, I just love it. I don't take it for granted.
What other better thing would I rather be doing than, doing something I love, competing against some of the best athletes, continue to, challenge myself to outperform and outplay them.
Being around the people, being around the team, and being around the city, it just brings a lot of emotions out of me, and I enjoy that.
It gives me opportunities that I may not have had before. I went to a great university, University of Richmond, which is a hard school to get into. Probably would not have gotten an education without football.
I just love to compete. I love the family atmosphere and being around my brothers and teammates, and it's just a whole family vibe.
It's the #1 team sport in the entire world, and it puts you on a platform to be able to do better and to improve your community and improve those around you.
Every day I feel like rent is due. Every day somebody has a new opportunity to become great. So I mean, it's just, and every day it's like somebody's chasing after you. So you can never become complacent. It's like, it's the ultimate thing to me, because you never know when your opportunity is, and you just gotta keep working. So that's what I love about football.
Welcome back. Time to answer this week's Bengals trivia question. Name the 3 Bengals tight ends to have 10 or more catches in a game.
Awesome research there. Dan Ross, I'll never forget this one. 11 catches in Super Bowl 16 against the 49ers, a record at that time that has since been broken. Rodney Holman had 10 catches against the Rams back in 1990. Boomer Esiason threw for 490 yards in that game. Then Jermaine Gresham had 10 catches against the Indianapolis Colts in 2014. 3 tight ends with 10 or more catches for the Bengals.
Here's an invitation to join us at our Bengals On Location radio shows this week. On Wednesday night, we'll be at Bucketheads on Harrison Ave for the Bengals Game Plan show. That's 6 to 8. Then on Friday afternoon from 3 to 6, it's the Bengals Pep Rally show, and we hope you'll come out and join us at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Fairfield. Now time for the Sideline Report, brought to you by Tri-Health. When A.J. Green suffered his injury on the first day of training camp, I think most of us thought, okay, by week 6, he'll definitely be back. Unfortunately, it's just not the case.
Really, and if it's close, for Jacksonville, I don't know if I'd play him. I don't know if I'd play him till after the bye week. I might just say, okay, go to London, come back, take the bye, because if it's dicey at all, why take a chance on re-injuring it? Give him the extra time and the bye, and get him back 100% for the second half of the season. We shall see. There's a few other guys that are battling injuries you have after 5 weeks of NFL football. I've been there. I know how that goes. Tweak an ankle, tweak a knee, tweak this, tweak that, but you line up and play, and I think most of the guys will be able to do that.
This week's opponent, Baltimore, lost a key player last week when Tony Jefferson tore his ACL. All right, let's get to this week's keys to victory.
Well, in the Marvin Lewis era, if you won the turnover battle, you won the game. Again, this matchup was incredible that way. If you were even or plus, you basically won the football game. But the scoring zone, inside the 20, has been a big problem, obviously, for the Bengals. They've been in there 14 times, only scored 4 touchdowns. That's 31st in the NFL. They've been stopped with no points 4 times. I mean, the exact same percentage they scored touchdowns, they haven't scored any points. And defensively, with a 1-for-6 performance against Arizona, they're 7th, tied for 7th in the NFL in red zone touchdown percentage. And they've held the opposition with no points 3 times. That's tied for second best in the National Football League. So Baltimore, 22 times have been there, tied for most. 14 touchdowns in the red zone, tied for most. Defense is going to have to step up. Chunk plays killed the Bengals against Arizona. They had 2 runs of over 20 yards, and they had 4 passes of over 20 yards. The Bengals don't have a run this year of over 20 yards. They have an 18-yard carry. You look at the Baltimore Ravens, I mean, they've got 3 different runners that have a rush of 39 yards or better. And they have 7 different receivers with a catch of 20 yards or more. I mean, you can't let the Baltimore Ravens get some chunk plays. And they're going to try to play keep away. 35 minutes and 18 seconds time possession, 2.5 better than anybody. 192 yards a game rushing, best in the league. 132 first downs, best in the league. They have a three-headed monster to run the football. Jackson, the quarterback, Ingram, and Edwards. They're going to try to play keep away. They're going to try to take the football, take the air out of it, run away and hide with it.
They've been doing it against others. We'll see if the Bengals can prevent them from doing it on Sunday. That's going to do it for this week's show. For Lapp and our crew, I'm Dan Horde. We'll see you next week after the Pigskin Flies in Baltimore. Bengals Weekly was brought to you in part by McDonald's. The greater Cincinnati area, McDonald's owner-operators are proud sponsors of the Cincinnati Bengals.